Jaime Lannister's journey to King's Landing alongside Brienne of Tarth is fraught with danger, starting from when they're spotted by a traveler. Jaime insists that Brienne should kill the man to prevent him from revealing their location, but she refuses. The duo faces another challenge when they need to cross a river. Brienne opts for the safer bridge route, but Jaime, always looking for an advantage, manages to distract her long enough to snatch her spare sword and free himself. This leads to a fierce duel between them on the bridge. Despite being one of the most skilled swordsmen in Westeros, Jaime is weakened by his time in captivity. Brienne, using both strength and endurance, gradually wears him down, just as Jaime collapses in exhaustion. Riders from House Bolton, led by Locke, arrive and capture them. Now prisoners of the Boltons, Jaime and Brienne are bound together and taken on a journey while their captors sing The Bear and the Maiden Fair. Jaime warns Brienne that she is in grave danger, and the soldiers will likely attempt to assault her. He advises her to submit, knowing that any resistance could lead to her death. However, Brienne refuses, saying she will fight to the end. That night, when Locke's men drag Brienne away to be assaulted, Jaime intervenes, using his wit instead of his sword. He convinces Locke that Brienne is a noblewoman, the heir to House Tarth, and that her father would pay a ransom in sapphires for her safe return. Locke, tempted by the prospect of wealth, calls off the attack and ties her up again. Jaime then attempts to use his family name as leverage, offering Locke riches in exchange for his release. Growing tired of Jaime's arrogance, Locke decides to teach him a brutal lesson. Under the pretense of offering him food, Locke's men unite Jaime and pin him down on a tree stump. In a shocking moment of cruelty, Locke mocks Jaime's reliance on his father before hacking off his right hand, the very hand that made him a legendary warrior. For a moment, Jaime stares in disbelief before screaming in agony. Jaime, feverish and weakened by his injury, is further tormented by his captor. As they march, they hang his severed hand around his neck as a grotesque trophy. When he collapses into the mud, they mock him, even forcing him to drink horse urine. In a final act of defiance, Jaime attempts to fight back, seizing a sword and trying to wield it with his left hand, but he is too weak, barely able to stand, and is quickly subdued. Locke warns that another escape attempt will cost him his remaining hand. Later that night, as he refuses food and sinks into despair, Brienne challenges him. She reminds him that he once saved her from being violated, and she questions why he did it. Jaime remains silent. Frustrated, she tells him that for the first time he is experiencing true loss, something most people live with daily. Her words strike a nerve, and Jaime, recognizing his own weakness, finally starts eating. Upon arriving at Harrenhal, Roose Bolton expresses anger at Locke for maiming Jaime, as Tywin Lannister is a dangerous man to cross. When Jaime inquires about Cersei, Roose cruelly strings him along, making it seem as if she perished in Stannis Baratheon's seas. However, he eventually reveals that she is alive, leaving Jaime overwhelmed with relief. His wound is treated by Qyburn, a former maester notorious for his unethical experiments. When Qyburn suggests amputating more of his arm to prevent infection, Jaime refuses, enduring the painful treatment without sedation. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Jaime later shares the truth behind his infamous title Kingslayer with Brienne. While bathing in Harrenhal's hot springs, he reveals that King Aerys II had ordered him to kill his own father and to burn all of King's Landing with wildfire. To prevent this atrocity, Jaime took matters into his own hands and killed the Mad King. However, when Ned Stark arrived to find Jaime standing over Aerys' corpse, he judged him as a traitor without even asking why. As Jaime collapses from weakness, Brienne catches him, and for the first time he insists that his name is not Kingslayer, it's Jaime. Roose Bolton eventually allows Jaime to return to King's Landing, but Brienne is ordered to stay behind. Jaime protests, but Roose refuses to release her, citing treason charges. As Jaime departs, he jokingly tells Roose to send his regards to Robb Stark, a dark foreshadowing of the massacre that awaits at the Red Wedding. On the journey back, Qyburn treats Jaime's wound and discusses his past. Jaime learns that Brienne's father had attempted to ransom her with 300 gold dragons, but Locke, believing House Tarth was vastly wealthier, refused the offer. Realizing that he indirectly caused Locke to overestimate Brienne's value, Jaime senses she is in grave danger. He orders her escort, Steelshanks, to turn back to Harrenhal, using his father's wrath as leverage. Back at Harrenhal, Jaime finds Brienne trapped in a fighting pit, forced to battle a bear with nothing but a wooden sword. Without hesitation, he leaps into the pit to defend her, forcing Steelshanks' men to intervene. With their help, Jaime and Brienne barely escape. Confronting Locke one more time, Jaime reminds him that Roose Bolton would prefer him alive and unharmed. This time, Locke relents, and the two depart together. At long last, Jaime arrives at King's Landing, accompanied by Brienne and Qyburn. As he steps through the gates, a commoner dismisses him as just another traveler, unaware of the trials he had endured. He heads straight for Cersei, walking into her chambers as she idly admires a seashell. When she turns to face him, her expression betrays shock at the first sight of his missing hand. Jaime Lannister, the once great warrior, had returned home, but he's no longer the same man who had left. But what did you guys think of Jaime Lannister during Game of Thrones Season 3? please let me know in the comments below. If you haven't already, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Sith Citadel Discord, links in the description, and consider becoming a join member or sending a super thanks if you wish to further support the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.